No, I mean, we have all been very active in social media in any case. We're lucky that we have got a young team also, whether it's the party leaders or even the candidates. If you look at them, most of our leaders are quite young. So it is a natural thing for us to, to use social media. And luckily, a lot of party people have joined us who are very active on social media and who have taken up the, the task to create this kind of environment. So a lot of people might think that, NPP is spending a lot of money and all of these things, and it's not the case. It's just young, enthusiastic people who thought that NPP, is a party that can make a change, and they decided to voluntarily support us and do this. So it's really a movement that has happened, and I'm very thankful to all the team members who have actually taken this step to make this happen. Right. There are many things that are important, but these are the basic social sectors that affect a lot of people, and that's the reason why we talk more about it. But if you look at it, there are different aspects of things. Number one, of course, is the entire aspect of governance as a whole. I feel that this governance has been missing in our state. Proper accountability has not been there. Proper implementation of projects has not been there. Proper monitoring has not been there. So on a large scale, you will see that governance has really suffered. And since governance has not been there, so you have seen that all schemes have actually badly performed. That's number one. So we want to ensure that good governance comes in. And that is by ensuring that the good policy making is there, ensuring that good implementation, the teams, the infrastructure, the manpower is there. And number three, things like monitoring, accountability should be there. So these are 3-4 aspects of governance which we want. Number two is that there are important sectors like infrastructure. Infrastructure means road, electricity, water, even telecommunication. This is important to us. Number two are social sectors like education, like health, like food and civil supplies, like women, ICDS, social justice department, social department, welfare department. So these are few social sectors which are important. Then obviously, third factor comes in is about youth and empowerment of youth, job creation, employment, and then industrial, growth. So we feel that there are areas of, tourism, value addition in food processing. I think these are important areas we to touch on. Now we talk about health and education because it's something that touches every life. It's an issue that is affecting every individual in our state. And so we talk about it more because people connect to it. But there are many other issues that are there, and we have gone into a broad spectrum of things, but we don't talk about all of them in that thing. But in our agenda, it's very much there. Yes, absolutely. I think codification of customary law is nothing but making sure that our identity is properly defined. I think the tribals from any part of the world, in fact, or in fact any society in general, needs to document what they are, who they are. So a customary law and codification really defines who we are. It is what differentiates us from others. So I think codification is something that every tribe, every community should do. And it should put it in black and white that this is what we are, this is what differentiates us, this is how Garos are different from others, this is how Khasis are different from others. So it's very important. But having said that, yes, there are 1 or 2 issues that have created controversy. So those issues, we will look at it, we will work at it, we'll discuss with people, we'll try to ensure that, a consensus is built up. So that's there. But as in general, codification is absolutely necessary to make sure that the identity of any tribe or any community is always documented.
Right. Talking of identity.
You see, any patriotic person would want to see his or her tribe, or his or her own people come up. There's no harm in being patriotic. Patriotism is love for your own people. You see, but when it converts into communalism, that means that you're hating others, to help your people. I feel that is what is the negative aspect should not be there. It's always good to be patriotic and love your own people. That's one aspect of things. Coming to Garoland and issue of Garoland, you see, we have always believed as a party that ultimate agenda is to give development to the people. And a lot of people feel that whether it's our state or you talk of Gorkha land, you talk of Swarashtra or Vidarbha, all these areas have felt that they have been economically neglected. The economic development has not come in. And a lot of them feel that a statehood is most probably the shortest way to get that development. So I think that is what is a driving factor. So we should not look at the effect, but we should look at the cause. I strongly feel as a political leader that I think if equal development is given across the board, I think people will realize that development can come in many other ways. So therefore, my agenda really is going to be an economic-based agenda. I want to ensure that our party works towards ensuring that development reaches all sections of society and all different parts of the state, and we'll be focused a lot on those issues.
Right. Then,
Well, we haven't gone for an alignment with UDP either, but nobody seems to be talking about that. But everybody is talking about not going on alignment with BJP. You see, NPP has not got an alignment with anybody. Not with BJP, not with UDP, not with HSPDP, not with PDF. But everybody chooses to talk about our non-alignment with the BJP. Maybe it's a political, point that people like to talk about. But we are very clear that we have agenda for our organization, for our party. It is right for any party to look at the interests of their own party. I have got organization and I've got people in every village, in every constituency. They have got aspirations to work for the people. And therefore, I cannot compromise on that. That's number one. Therefore, I'd like to build the confidence of my teamwork and ensure that our people can fight in every constituency. That's number 2 point. Number 3 point, we don't have any issue with any political party as such. We fought the Manipur election on our own. We are fighting this election on our own, and maybe in the future also we will leave the situation, we'll fight on our own because our ideologies are different compared to many other parties. So when we go to the people, we tell them what our ideologies are. We tell them what our vision is. And the people feel that our vision is good, then they will vote for us. But post that, the numbers that come out will determine the formation of the government, will determine the governance aspect, will determine the development aspect. And I think that is a separate story which can only be looked at post the election results that come out.
Right.
So it's too early to say what's going to happen.
it can also lead to tricky situations because in South Tura, your sister Conrad Sangma would be contesting against a BJP candidate.
Yes, absolutely.
So, what is your response?
That's exactly my point. I mean, you have answered my question. The question you just asked me before that, what this alliance and all those things, this clearly shows that we are ensuring that the party's identity remains and that we are clearly an independent party with our own ideologies, with our own mission and our own vision, and will continue working in that line.
Right.
You see, whatever happened in that thing was really actually very unfortunate and very disturbing, I should say. And it has never happened in our history. And as far as I recollect, it has not happened anywhere in the Northeast. There have been attacks, there have been shootings, but cold-blooded kind of murder and death has never happened. And we have not lost lives like this. How it happened, why it happened, it really is for the authorities to look into. I am not an investigation agency, so I cannot say anything. And I think without really coming out with the proper reasons and investigation, I don't think I would be in a position to point fingers at anybody. But clearly, this really shows that the situation is not good, you see. If a candidate who's contesting in a democratic way can be killed like this, I think it is in one way kind of a big slap to the democratic process and the law and order situation in our state. And I think to a large extent the leadership in the state, the chief minister and the government has to realize that maybe they did not do enough. So those aspects are there, but as I said, who is behind it and what has happened, that is something that is not for me to comment on,
Right.
really. Yeah.
Local news reports to
Well,
this
that's
subject.
exactly the reason why I said that to some extent maybe there is a failure in the government agencies' work and intelligence agencies' work. And it's unfortunate this has happened, but the fact that more of these kind of things are there and they've found them, I've just seen it on Facebook and other things. I've not really seen a report about it. But if that's the case, then it's a very worrying factor. And I think security agencies need to really, look at it and find out how we can neutralize these things ASAP, because the democratic process cannot stop. And what worries me more is that, are there individuals and people who are behind this, are there political parties who are behind this, maybe who don't want elections to happen anymore because of whatever reason. So those things is something that disturbs me also. So I hope that's not the case, and I hope the election continues peacefully so that we can have a democratic and proper, clean and fair election in this coming 2018.
Coming back.
Oh, we have contesting in Nagaland.
Okay.
Yeah, we have 26 candidates we've set up.
Okay.
We have, and they're working very well. In fact, I went there, but I couldn't go for the campaign because I was quite busy in Garo Hills. But we've set up candidates there, very much.
So,
Yeah, I mean, it's not, I don't want to use the word spread out because it sounds like a really, kind of opportunist kind of a word. But you see, the vision that Mr. P.S. Sangma had for the party and for the Northeast was that there should be a platform that does fight and does give the voice for all the people of the Northeast. Because sometimes we feel that every regional party has got their own regional mindset, and or the particular tribe or the state mindset. But there has not been a platform for the people of the Northeast. Different political parties coming together and creating that platform doesn't work all the time. So you need one party to provide that one platform to voice the concerns of the Northeast, to bring out the opportunities of the Northeast. And I think the new generation now realizes that yes, there is a need for it. And that's why I feel that we are getting the response and opportunity from the people. And I think we are moving in the right direction, but it all depends on the people, and let's hope they give us a chance. 540 princely states were brought together to make India, So there are negatives everywhere, and there are challenges all the time. But challenges being there doesn't mean that we stop working towards our goal. And here we are not trying to take opportunity. As I said, I'm not looking at an opportunist word, but I'm trying to look at the possibilities and the opportunities in general, the positive side of things that are there. Because I strongly feel, as I said, that yes, there are differences among our tribes, differences in everything, but there is a common aspect also. Yes, the Northeast is a term that's coined by the center, but we can't ignore the fact that we are part of this region. We can't ignore the fact that we have got 98% borders with international countries. We can't ignore the fact that we are lagging behind economically. And yes, if we were to put up a front together and fight for it together, maybe we'd be able to make a change and make a difference. Maybe the center would be able to give us more attention in terms of economic development. And I think a lot of issues where we find ourselves fighting alone, so suddenly you'll have somebody on your side to say, well, I'll help you here, why don't you help me there? So I think that kind of a mindset we're having. And I'll tell you, challenges are always there, but really we are looking at the positive side of things and working towards it.
Right.
Now, the first aspect of renewable and energy that you're talking about, obviously we are for renewable energy. We also feel that it should be the way forward. And in our document also, we are very keen to ensure that we have renewable energy and focus on that. When I was Power Minister in 2008, in fact, I had made a statement that we should strive towards at least ensuring that 20% of our energy requirement comes from renewable sources. This was in 2008. I still stick to that, and maybe we want to increase it even more. So that's number one. Our commitment to renewable energy is there for sure. Coming to the coal mining, we focusing on the coal mining does not mean that we want to encourage the usage of coal in any way. But even India today has a large dependent on coal power thermal plants. In fact, 50% I think of our power still comes from thermal plants. So it cannot be stopped immediately. But we slowly start to get other sources of energy. So this is going to take some time before it comes out. So therefore, yes, we work towards the renewable energy part, but the coal cannot be cut off immediately. It will take some time. It'll take some time to slowly change that. Number 3 point, that this coal issue that is there, the ban that is there, we need to realize that yes, there are environment issues are there. There's no doubt about it. Yes, there are mining safety issues also. But at the same time, you have to realize the economic dependence that our state and the people has on coal mining. You can't shut off something and simply leave the people hungry. Government needs to realize that we need a balanced approach. We need an approach where we allow the mining to take place in a maximum safe way it can to ensure that there is minimum damage to the environment. But at the same time, the livelihood of the people should continue. And third aspect is we need to ensure that a parallel economy and a parallel job creation is done so that people's livelihoods can be shifted from coal maybe in the long run after 5, 10 years, 20 years into another line. But cutting it off immediately without an alternative, you see, is not the solution. So yes, environment is important, but so is economics and livelihood, the royalty, the dependence of other industries on coal, and the aspect of job creation. So I think we need to look at the entire aspect of things. As a political leader, as a party, it's important for us to be balanced in what we do. What is the solution we're offering? It's not easy. It's not easy. I've been very clear in my speech. What I've told people is that we feel that in the last 3 years, 4 years, the Congress government has not taken the initiative to ensure that they can find a solution. We feel there has been a lack of political will. Has Chief Minister met Prime Minister about this even once? He has not met. Has the Chief Minister met the Coal Minister even once? He has not met. Has the state government written back and replied back to the state government's queries on the issues? They have not. clearly a lack of political will and desire to find a solution. For what reason? I think you have to ask the other side for that. But my point being that there has to be political will. It's a complicated situation, many factors involved, many challenges in it. But what we're telling people is that here there's a political party that realizes all those challenges, realizes what is there we have now and in the years to come. And we want to find a practical solution to this. It has to be, all have to sit together and put their heads together. All stakeholders have to be involved, and hopefully we'll be able to find a solution. And I'm very positive we will. It's a long story. I'll need another 1 hour to explain to you and break it down to you what are the challenges we face. So each challenge, maybe about 4 or 5 layers of challenges are there, and we need to look at every challenge in a separate manner. There's a question of ownership of coal, there's a question of mining safety, there's a question of child labor, there's a question of the mining agency, there's a question of the environment. So there are 5, 6 issues that have come out of this, and now we need to break down each one of them and work with the respective stakeholders to find solutions to each of these challenges. So it's not going to be easy, but what we're telling people is that we have the political will and the desire to ensure that we find a way forward. That's what it is.